Welcome back to Dan on Dev. Today I am going to share with you my view of the true creatives in a product team. We often think of the creatives as the artists, the graphic artists, the designer, you may even think of, musicians, whatever. Those are the people that we often think of as creatives. When I am looking at my team and I'm looking at building a product, I also look at my software engineers as creatives, because they truly are. And I'm going to tell you why. Often when folks look at the software engineer, they see somebody that's a little more straight-laced, a little more on the geek side of things, that is maybe a little more boring, quite frankly, is what they kind of see from the outside. And that's generally what they're judging, is that exterior persona that often comes with a lot of software engineers. They're seeing that straight-laced attitude. What most people miss is that these are the true creatives. If you really think about it, when you're building a product, you are basically creating something from nothing. It is the literal definition. They are creators. We call them software developers, software engineers. They're software creators. And often they need to be treated as such. We think of, the creatives, going to the artist types. You want to give them these spaces for their creativity. It's just as important for the engineer. They need the space to be creative. Maybe that's not necessarily physical space. Sometimes it's mental space to really think out their problem. My wife, when I had my team, I would be constantly going through all the team members and sometimes sharing with her some of the things going on. And she would refer to them as my collection of delicate geniuses. And that really stuck with me. And that really became something I kind of took on for myself. This is my collection of delicate genius creators. I need to be looking at these individuals and trying to figure out how to get the most out of them. And a lot of that was around inspiring them and allowing them to create, giving them the freedom to exercise their own imagination and how they would solve a problem. Of course, when there's teamwork involved, you have to give and take a little bit. There's trade-offs. There's also a lot of work that's quite frankly boring and is not creative. So when there's a lot of bug ticket activity, if you give that to all of the bug fixing to a small group of people on the team, they can feel very stagnant and very dull. And so what you really need to be able to do is distribute out that grunt work, if you will, that drudgery among the whole team. And then when there's a new feature, that's where you start to share that out. I can't even begin to share how often it is that when there is a new feature to be created, that the team is often fighting over who gets to do it. They'll be making their case. Well, that's a little closer to what I did over here or whatever. It's because they want that opportunity to create, to express their vision and ideas in code on this problem. So as you're looking at your team, think about them a little differently. Think about them as creatives. Think about them as individuals that want to express themselves in code, just as an artist would want to express themselves with a paintbrush on a canvas, right? Or sketching on a paper. They are creatives similar to that. They are building out their art form is code and features. Let them express themselves in that way. Invite them into it. Think about that a little as you're building out your roadmap, as you're building out your features, as you're assigning tickets. Be kind to your delicate geniuses. Inspire them around the problem. And I guarantee you will end up with a better product because of it. Let me know if you agree, disagree, whatever. Engage me in the comment section. I look forward to it. Also, please hit the subscribe and like buttons. It helps the channel out quite a bit, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully this has been valuable to you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.